last 24 hours in medieval times. Think you could survive 24 hours in medieval times? Spoiler alert, you wouldn't even make it past breakfast. You wouldn't last an hour without gagging, and that's before the public executions started. Headache? Bloodletting. Stomach pain? More bloodletting. Depression? Possession. Medieval food wasn't farm to table, it was barn to grave. There was no justice system, just people with whips and guesses. Your skincare routine? A stick and prayer. Your AirPods alone would have gotten you executed. You'd go in with a phone and come out with dysentery. So, you think you'd crush it in medieval times? Swing a sword, ride a horse, eat meat off the bone, and live like a badass knight? Yeah. No. You wouldn't last 24 hours, and honestly, you probably wouldn't survive breakfast. Imagine waking up in a damp, rat-infested hut, choking on the stench of human waste in the streets, surrounded by people who think sneezing is a sign of demonic possession. No showers, no soap, no rights, no clue what germs are. And guess what? That fancy medieval bread you just ate, moldy, and likely full of parasites. Let's take a stroll through a day in your new medieval life. And by stroll, I mean a slow, painful crawl toward dysentery. 1-1, the smell would knock you out. You step outside, ready to start your brave new life in medieval times, and within 3 seconds, your nose files for divorce. Why? Because the streets aren't paved with stone. They're paved with literal human waste. That bucket in the corner? It's the toilet. That window up there? Someone just dumped last night's business out of it, right into the road. And if you're thinking, okay, I'll hold my breath, good luck, because everyone stinks. No deodorant, no showers, no toothpaste. People bathed maybe a few times per year if they were lucky, and even then, they believed bathing could kill you. Combine that with dead animals, moldy food, rotting teeth, and open wounds festering in the sun, and congratulations, you're marinating in a cocktail of medieval misery. You wouldn't just gag, you'd probably pass out. Number 2, healthcare was torture. Feeling a little sick in medieval times? Maybe a cough, headache, or, God forbid, a rash? Congrats. You're about to enter the most horrifying hospital in human history. First stop, a barber. Yes, the guy who cuts hair is also your surgeon, dentist, and unofficial executioner. Got a toothache? He'll yank it out with a pair of rusty iron tongs, heated over an open fire. No numbing. No hygiene. Just one guy, a chair, and your screams echoing into the fog. Number 3, food would kill you. By some miracle, you survived the smell and the medicine. Now you're hungry. Bad news, so is every parasite in your body. Let's talk food, medieval style. First of all, refrigeration didn't exist, so meat was either dried, buried in salt, or just left hanging around until it grew a nice fuzzy coat of bacteria. Think you're playing it safe with bread? Wrong again. Most grain was contaminated with ergot, a mold that causes seizures, hallucinations, and, oh yeah, death. Water? Forget it. River water was basically disease soup, so most people drank weak beer or ale all day, including children, which means by midday, the whole village was tipsy, bloated, and probably crawling with worms. Number 4. Laws were brutal. In medieval times, justice wasn't blind. It was blindfolded, drunk, and swinging an axe. There were no lawyers, no appeals, no rights to remain silent. You'd be lucky if your trial lasted longer than a sneeze. Steal a loaf of bread? That's a hand gone. Accused of gossiping about the king? That could get you flogged in the town square. Look at a noble the wrong way? Hope you enjoy the stocks, where you'd be pelted with rotten food, rocks, and possibly human waste. And if someone accused you of a crime without proof, you could be forced into a trial by ordeal. Number 5. You'd probably get accused of witchcraft. Congratulations, time traveler, You're clean, polite, and own a smartphone. That's not suspicious at all. In medieval times, you'd be accused of witchcraft before lunch. Got allergies? That's a curse. Left-handed? Definitely Satan's favorite. Say something smart, scientific, or just a little too confident. Boom. Possessed. You could literally be executed for knowing too much, or for knowing nothing at all. Some people were burned at the stake for dreaming about odd animals. Others were drowned because they looked too calm when a storm hit. If you were a woman over 40 and lived alone, big red flag. If your neighbor's cow died and they didn't like you, enjoy your trial by ducking stool. What's that, you say? You're innocent? Cool. We'll tie rocks to your legs and toss you in a river. If you float, you're a witch and we'll burn you. If you sink, oops, guess you were innocent after all. No internet, no rights, no chill. So, you've survived the filth, the food, the medicine, the witch trials, and now you're thinking, maybe I could make it in medieval times. Think again. Because this world, it has no chill. There's no internet, no TV, no books. Unless you can read Latin and own a hand-copied manuscript that took a monk 3 years to finish. No electricity, no heating, no air conditioning. Your evening entertainment is watching rats fight over breadcrumbs, or being forced to attend a public hanging. And if you're a woman, a peasant, or literally anyone who isn't royalty, you have no rights. You can't vote, you can't complain, you can't even pick who you marry. You exist to work, obey, and try not to die before 35. You'd be dead by morning. Let's be honest, you're not making it to nightfall. You're sleep-deprived, dehydrated, infected, possibly accused of witchcraft, and your stomach is waging a holy war against that moldy stew. You've stepped in things you can't describe. You've been sneezed on by someone who thinks prayer cures plague. And you've seen a grown man get punished for stealing a carrot. Your modern immune system? Laughably unprepared. One scratch from a rusty tool, one sip of contaminated water, one nibble of spoiled meat, and you've got fever, hallucinations, and a fast pass to the afterlife. And if you did survive, you'd wish you didn't. Okay, fine. Let's say, somehow, you beat the odds. You dodge disease, keep your limbs, avoid being burned, and manage not to step in anything unspeakable. You made it 24 hours. You survived. But here's the kicker. You're now stuck in the most exhausting, joyless, physically punishing era of human history. Your reward? A lifetime of back-breaking labor. No personal freedom, no health care, and no escape from the daily plague parade. Your bed is straw. Your walls are mud. Your job? Dig. Until you die. So, still think you'd survive the Middle Ages? If the plague didn't get you, the food would. If the food didn't, the justice system would. And if all that failed, you'd probably just be burned as a witch for asking what year it is. The truth is, we romanticize the medieval world. Knights, castles, dragons. But the reality? It was dirty, brutal, miserable, and painfully short-lived. So maybe, next time you complain about your Wi-Fi being slow or running out of oat milk, remember, at least you're not bathing once a year and sharing a chamber pot with 12 other people. If this video shattered your medieval fantasy in the most disgusting way possible, hit that like button so we can ruin more time periods for you. Drop a comment. What would kill you first? The food, the smell, or the dentist with no anesthesia? And don't forget to subscribe before someone accuses you of heresy.